Her voice feels familiar. That is Kalina. That is Kalin. Sopo, Star, Emperor A1, M16. Architect. The military. Krieger. Oh, he's wearing the Elmo outfit. Ooh, that's GFL2 commander right there. Oh, height 404. Yeah, he's wearing the outfit. That's William. Okay. Alright, I think GBF Lyria 2. Now Toyama. Tokarev's memory. So the main character for the story is Tokarev. Okay. Earlier today, an unregistered illegal doll named Dandelion had abducted a commander who had made outstanding contributions in the Battle of Frankfurt. With the commander as hostage, the doll seized a military tank and attempted to storm the White Zone in a terrorist attack. Traffic surveillance shows that chaos broke out when the vehicle entered the White Zone. It is presumed that the commander engaged the doll in a physical altercation, causing the tank to lose control, crash into the quarantine wall, and explode violently. Inside the vehicle, investigators found numerous doll fragments, confirmed to belong to Dandelion. The commander's whereabouts remain unknown. Oh look, it's the same cutscene that they use in Neural Cloud and here in GFL 1. Griffin Section 9 Base. Bang bang bang. On the training ground, several dolls hold their weapons with blank expressions, repeating the cycle of raising the gun, firing and reloading with mechanical precision. Tokarev keeps her head lowered as she practices disassembling and assembling her firearm, her movements stiff and robotic. We haven't been training very efficiently today. It feels like we are just wasting ammunition. You'll get used to it. No one really cares how well we train anyway. Keep your voices down. Miss Kalina is coming this way, and who is that next to her? Tokarev turns her head and sees Kalina walk into the training ground with a young person beside her. The newcomer is roughly her age, dressed in a brand new Griffin uniform. A human? Looks pretty young. That's the new commander, isn't it? Miss Kalina mentioned they would arrive today. The dolls on the training ground all stop what they're doing, their gazes sneaking toward Kalina and the stranger. Kalina's voice rings out with professional seriousness. Please continue with your training. Stay focused. Then she turns to the young person beside her, her tone softening. Commander, this is the basic training ground for Area Section 9. The conditions are a bit rough. Please excuse us. The commander smiles and looks around, their eyes sweeping over the dolls who are peeking curiously at them one by one. It's alright, Miss Kalina. Oh, this is a flashback. But on the perspective of Tokarev, what matters is that everyone is making an effort. Though it seems morale still has room for improvement. Kalina sounds a little dejected as she replies. Most of them were not created for combat. It takes time for them to adapt, Commander. I will arrange for you to meet the dolls in charge of each echelon as soon as possible. For now, shall we take a look at the other facilities at the base? Sure. The commander glances once more at the dolls in training, nods slightly and follows Kalina out of the training ground. G43 grimaces. A new broom sweeps clean, eh? I wonder how long this one will last. Well, for 10 years, G43. And also a second game. M1895 sounds a bit more hopeful. They seem nice. At least they're not scowling. Tokarev watches the commanders receding back pensively. That same noon, after a morning of touring the base, the new commander dines alone in a corner of the cafeteria. The cafeteria is mainly for human staff, but since Area Section 9 has very few human employees, it has always been rather empty. At the entrance, Tokarev and a few other dolls who have just finished their morning training are wondering if they should have their coolant top up when the sight of the lone figure eating in the corner draws their attention. They peek inside, whispering furtively. It really is the new commander. They're eating alone. Should we go bother the commander? Also, this is the humans' cafeteria, right? It feels wrong for us to go inside. Tokarev whispers back uncertainly. I don't know. Griffin doesn't technically allow dolls to dine here, so I've never gone inside before. But it smells nice. While they quietly discuss what to do, the commander notices the commotion at the entrance. They set down their cutleries and wave at the dolls with a kind smile. Hello there. The dolls jump slightly, startled by the sudden greeting. Oh, is the commander talking to us? Oh, hello, Springfield. Yeah, they greeted us and said hello. Oh, what do we do? It's the first time a human has greeted me. Yes, H18. Didn't you interact with humans at your previous workplace? Huh? I was a medical doll, sure, but my interaction with humans are limited to things like being ordered to wipe their sweat. What are you standing there for? Come and have a seat. Want to eat something together? The dolls stand frozen by the door. They stare at each other, clearly dumbfounded and confused. They have never been received such an invitation from a human before, let alone eaten real food at a place like this. The commander is inviting us to eat? Have you ever eaten food before? I do have a gastral mojo, but I've never used it. Yes, H18, head over there already. Why me? Makarov, you go. Tokarev hesitates, but remembering the commander's gentle demeanor, she musters her courage and steps forward first. Commander, hello. May we eat here? The commander doesn't seem surprised by their hesitation. Their smile remains and they gesture at the empty seats around the table. Of course you may. Why ever not? That's the first time I saw that word. Why ever? I think I'm gonna use that from now on. Why ever? You're a member of the base too. After training so hard, you need to replenish your energy. Come, take a seat. Keep me company and let's see how good the catering here is. Seeing Tokarev take the initiative, the other dolls glance at one another, then cautiously follow her example and sit down stiffly across from the commander. They stare at the trays with curiosity, sniffing the unfamiliar scents wafting from the food. No need to be nervous. I'm the commander, yes, but I just arrived. You're the veterans here. Can you tell me your names? The dolls stiffly report their names one by one, their voices buzzing with a sense of novelty. Tokarev also states her name. Tokarev, M1895, GSH18, nice to meet all of you. I saw you training hard this morning. What's the plan for the afternoon? The afternoon? More routine target practice, Commander. I see. That's perfect. I'll come along and have a look after lunch. M1895 gapes in surprise. Huh? You want to watch us train? The commander chuckles slightly and hands a piece of bread to GSH18, who doesn't seem to know where to start. Of course. I want to get a direct sense of everyone's abilities. Maybe I can and sitting in the office all day is boring. Thank you. Here, try this. The commander's easygoing attitude and matter-of-fact behavior gradually dissolve the doll's guardedness. They start imitating the commander's movements, awkwardly lifting cutleries to try the unfamiliar food. Their hands are clumsy, but there is an indescribable glimmer in their eyes. On the training ground, the dolls resume their routine drills. Unlike the numbness from the morning, their movements now seem a bit more lively. Perhaps it's the unexpected lunch, or perhaps it's simply because the new commander is currently standing right at the sidelines. The commander doesn't just watch, they interact with the dolls. The commander seems to be feeling a bit warm after a while. They take off their new Griffin uniform jacket and drape it casually over the railing. They have only a white shirt underneath with the sleeves rolled to the elbows. The commander walks up to a doll practicing rapid fire and patiently points out things she could improve on. Here, try stabilizing your wrist a bit more. Yes, like this. Feel it? The recoil won't throw you off as much. Then the commander walks over to Tokarev, who is practicing firearm disassembly and assembly with quick practice motion. Tokarev, your speed is excellent. But on the battlefield, you might face more complicated conditions, like parts getting muddy or warped from overheating. Try adding some interference simulations during practice to improve your ability to adapt. Tokarev nods seriously and records the advice in her core data. Yes, Commander, I'll bear that in mind. The commander even picks up a training rifle and personally demonstrates several tactical movements. A human may not move with the flawless precision of a doll equipped with a fire control core, but every motion shows practical experience and sincere intention, making them seem deeply reliable. The training ground is abuzz with unprecedented enthusiasm. Mechanical obedience is no longer all there is in the doll's eyes. Gradually, there is focus, as well as a faint, indescribable emotion quietly forming, something like expectation. Tokarev watches the commander's back as they patiently correct Makarov's shooting posture. This commander seems different from any human I have met before. A thought flickers across Tokarev's neural cloud. Maybe Griffin will become... At that moment, she knew she fucked up. No, I'm sorry. The image before Tokarev's eyes starts flickering violently, like a malfunctioning old screen with static. The scene distorts, blurring as if disrupted by unstable data streams. A harsh electrical buzz rings in her ears, a system crash warning. Her voice breaks with static, thin like a failing transmission. Commander. Tokarev reaches toward the fading scene, but her vision nevertheless grows dim until it is completely consumed by deep darkness. What a nice opening. Alright, next one. IOP Branch. Oh, Kalina. Darkness, stillness, absolute silence. A sharp crack of circuitry connecting cuts through the void. Tokarev's consciousness snaps violently back into reality. The familiar warmth of a system reboot trickles through every circuit in her body. What's the last thing she remembered? Gunfire, explosions, the commander's voice and her teammates shouting. Tokarev, hang in there! We're almost through! How did she fall behind? A sudden EMP, the Nidhogg protocol formally engaged and forced her into a total shutdown. In an instant, everything collapsed into black. Her visual module gradually recovers from chaos. At first, there are only scattered points of light, then blurry outlines, then shapes slowly sharpening into something she can scarcely believe. Kalina's haggard face. Dressed in a formal professional outfit that she normally hates, Kalina is pale, with heavy dark circles hanging under her eyes. Her blonde hair, usually perfectly kept, is a disheveled mess, as if she hasn't properly rested in a long time. Miss Kalina? Kalina's tense expression loosens a little. A breath of relief passes through her. Thank goodness, you're awake. Only now does Tokarev have the capacity to take in her surroundings. She has been packed like cargo inside the crate. Next to Kalina lies a discarded crowbar, and Tokarev notices the blood-red scrapes on Kalina's slender hands. The crate's lid, previously nailed shut, lies pried open in the middle of the corridor. Rows upon rows of identical crates line both sides of the passageway. Miss Kalina. Tokarev lifts her arm with great difficulty. Her joints feel stiff, as if they were rusted, but she forces it to move and wraps it around Kalina's trembling body. Please don't worry, you don't have to shoulder everything on your own. I'm fully awake now. Oh, she's mad. Kalina takes a long breath, wipes out the tears welling up in her eyes, and sombers up. I'm fine, Tokarev. Can you move? Tokarev tests the other parts of her body, trying to ease the side effects of the forced shutdown and improper handling. Everything seems to be in order. I'm ready for combat anytime. Good. I wish I could wake a few more helpers. But, well, you'll probably guess it. I snuck in here illegally. Just to be safe, we should get out of here first. Her voice holds none of her usual vivacity, only exhaustion and a kind of bottomless despair. Tokarev has many questions. She knows this isn't the time, but she needs at least a basic understanding of the situation. Where are we? An IOP warehouse in Frankfurt, a temporary one. And the commander? How did the fight end? Shouldn't you be in hospital? Why are you in Frankfurt? How long has it even been? Kalina bites her lip. The fatigue on her face deepens. It's a long story. Let's get out of here first. After that, I'll fill you in on everything. Alright. You see, now, my next question is, why is Tokarev not on Kalina's side in GFL2? I hope it will answer that. I hope this story will answer it. Because it's weird. Then please stand behind me. What's even weirder is that Lena and Leba is with Kalina, which is against Leba's personality, to be perfectly honest. Just normal. We only care about the story for now. Tokarev watches the streets of Frankfurt blur past the car window. This city, once something she longed to see, feels utterly foreign now. The traces of war are everywhere. The roads are scarred. The walls of many buildings are pockmarked with bullet holes. Some have even collapsed entirely. What used to be a bustling commercial district is now empty, with only a few pedestrians hurrying through. Kalina's car passes a hastily constructed military checkpoint. A few soldiers lazily wave them through. Judging from their gear and posture, they are clearly a militia unit pressed into service at short notice. The Neo-Soviet garrison is still here? Kalina doesn't answer. Her hands are locked tightly on the wheel, knuckles pale. After driving a while longer, she pulls into a quiet corner, letting the car blend into Frankfurt's nightscape. They say the commander is dead. Tokarev, who has been silent ever since they left the warehouse, can no longer hold herself back. Impossible! They're lying! This has to be a lie. It is a lie. The commander. How could the commander possibly... Calm down, Tokarev. Kalina grips the steering wheel even harder. I don't believe it either. But the news reported it last night. They said the commander was taken hostage by the rogue Dandelion and forced to drive a military tank into the white zone to carry out a terror attack. The vehicle exploded upon entering the zone. Dandelion was destroyed and the commander is missing. Missing? How? And who even is Dandelion? How come you don't know Dandelion? M4's Ogas. I'm sorry, we kept her identity hidden from you for various reasons. But she would never betray the commander. She would never betray us. So the news is fabricated? I don't know yet, but something is definitely off. For example, they claim the tank was full of doll fragments belonging to Dandelion. But Miss Dandelion's body is special. If she left behind fragments, they wouldn't be mistaken for standard doll parts. The moment I learned about this early this morning, I rushed here non-stop from the Neo-Soviet Union. I was in such a hurry, Hellion even had to handle my discharge papers for me. When I arrived, I was confronted with this unfathomable situation. The commander vanished without a trace. All of you got put into a forced shutdown by some absurd protocol, and even had your Griffin authorizations revoked. The government has no corpse, no evidence, nothing. Yet they announced the commander's death and terminated the investigation. Even Mr. Kryuger refuses to tell me anything. He won't even meet with me. Something is being hidden from me. I'm sure of it. Kalina's voice breaks into a desperate, trembling sob. Only now does Tokarev fully realize how cornered and helpless Kalina must have been to resort to illegally reactivating her. So I came to you, Tokarev. You're the only one who can tell me what on earth really happened yesterday, and what happened to the commander these past days. Tokarev closes her eyes. Let me start from the beginning. Is she gonna show her perspective? Okay, sorry. Kalina slams her fist against the steering wheel. The horn blares sharply, startling a flock of crows drawn by the scent of decay. How could they do this? Miss Kalina, please calm down. How am I supposed to calm down? They actually... Kalina forces a deep breath to steady her heaving chest. If I had known, even if I could barely stand, I would have gone with the commander. Your absence was not to blame for this outcome. Even if you were here, I doubt it would have changed anything. But... Kalina bites her lip. The commander must have needed someone at their side. She slumps back into the seat, covering her face with both hands, feeling utterly defeated. So much happened while I was in the hospital. Miss Angge, even she. That cannot be true either, right? Nope, she's dead. I don't know the details, but I'm afraid that part about Miss Angge is very much true. Kalina turns her face away, maybe to hide her expression, but Tokarev still hears the quiet sobs. I know, this is probably all you know about what happened earlier, but I need to figure out, what about yesterday? What happened yesterday? I don't know all the details as I wasn't allowed to take part in the commander's strategic meeting. But before the protocol activated, meaning the day before yesterday, the commander received a call from some important figure, Javier. After that, they summoned us and informed us about the protocol. To prevent the commander from carrying out their next operation, IOP would gradually revoke their command authority over all IOP dolls within the following 12 hours. Operation? To eliminate Paradeus and William. And then, the commander let us decide whether to stay or leave. None of us backed down. After that, we followed the commander and fought our way from the Elmo into the white zone, or at least we should have. Should have. In one final charitable gesture, Mr. Javier staggered the activation of the protocol across 12 hours, with its effect spreading from the weakest dolls to the strongest, giving the commander strength for one final battle. I'm sorry, but I'm not one of Griffin's stronger dolls. Before we even entered the white zone, I lost consciousness. And when I opened my eyes again, it was your face I saw. In other words, you also don't know what happened inside the white zone, or what happened when the commander disappeared? I'm very sorry. Kalina falls silent, as if the last glimmer of hope has been snuffed out. I'm so sorry, Miss Kalina. Kalina's voice sounds bitter and hollow. No, it's not your fault. I just thought I'd at least find someone who knew something. But in the end, I cannot even confirm whether the commander is alive or dead. I was gone for only a few days, and everything's changed. I should have been there. I should have faced it all with the commander. Even if it meant dying, I should have been with them. See, that's why Kalina is the canon wife. Miss Kalina, please don't say that. If you had been there, the military likely would have restricted your movement or detained you entirely. Right now, you're the only one still free to seek the truth. Besides, even if I don't know what happened in the white zone, we do have a lead. If there really was an explosion, there would have been records of a formal investigation and body recovery. Even the fiercest blast leave DNA traces or identifiable remains. But the authorities have no body and refuse to provide evidence. You're right. We need to find proof, Tokarev. Whether it proves the commander is dead or that they're alive, I need to see the truth for myself. We should inspect the site. The authorities must have already investigated and cleaned up, but there will always be traces left behind. Not to mention, Tokarev's system suddenly wavers. Her visual modules distort into static. A sharp current of pain shoots through her core, forcing her to double over, clutching her head. Tokarev, what's wrong? Kalina unbuckles herself immediately and reaches out to steady the collapsing doll. Tokarev. I'm fine, Miss Kalina. It's just some strange data fragments appearing in my system. Probably a side effect of the forced shutdown. Are you sure? If it's a serious system error, we should find somewhere to run diagnostics first. Don't worry, it's already fading. I'll recover soon. She looks Kalina straight in the eyes, her voice firm. I want to know what happened to the commander too. Everything else can wait. For both of us, every second counts when it comes to this. Kalina hesitates, but seeing Tokarev's resolve, she finally nods. Alright, but if your condition gets worse, you tell me immediately. I promise, Miss Kalina. That's actually smart, making Kalina and Tokarev the main character. Because who could be the main character though, when the commander is already out of the story? What is this? It's just farming site? Oh, it's just farming site. Day 1, so now we are on day... Wait. I guess day 1 morning? Or early morning? Tokarev's memory too. Oh. Assembly hall. Hundreds of tactical dolls sit quietly in the assembly hall. The crowded space hums with a low, constant vibration. Tokarev sits in the back corner, her cold electronic eyes sweeping across the room. Confusion, unease, weariness. Those expressions appear on many faces. Makarov's fingertips tap lightly on the armrest without her noticing. A full-based doll assembly. This has never happened in all of Griffin's history, let alone in Area Section 9. What exactly is the new commander trying to do? Oh, this is flashback. Tokarev looks down at her own hands. Could be an adjustment to the base defense level? Or maybe some new long-term garrison plan? Either way, it's just another way of issuing orders. Whatever it is, we just have to follow them, right? Tokarev makes no reply. Her gaze settles on Makarov sitting ahead. With her perfect posture and quiet composure, she is an island untouched by the atmosphere around her. Noticing the stare, Makarov turns slightly. Their eyes meet, and she gives Tokarev a light nod and a small smile. The side door swings open. A lively young logistics officer bounces in, her entry accompanied by a bright laugh. Everyone's here. Perfect attendance. Well done, all of you. A splash of warm color bursts into the gray atmosphere. Kalina sticks out her tongue playfully, her long ginger hair catching the light, dazzling the eye. She hasn't been posted to Area Section 9 for long either. Behind her, the new commander walks in with composed steps. They are not wearing full uniform, just a simple white shirt with the sleeves casually rolled up to the elbows and the top button undone. They look quite relaxed. Kalina skips to the side of the podium, hands behind her back as she stands a little on her toes. Alright, everybody relax a bit, okay? Don't sit there like you're in standby mode. The commander just wants to, talk to everyone. Makarov lifts her head and shares a brief smile with Kalina. The commander steps onto the podium and quietly scans every face below. Good afternoon. Thank you all for coming. I know calling every doll here like this is highly irregular. You must be wondering what's going on. There are some things I want to speak to all of you about directly. Starting today, the Section 9 base will undergo a few operational changes. Murmurs ripple through the crowd. First things first, starting tonight, all dolls at the base will no longer be required to undergo mandatory periodic maintenance in the dormancy pods. The murmuring dies instantly. Silence fills the hall. You may decide for yourselves whether to rest or remain active based on your core status and mission schedule. As long as safety and mission efficiency are maintained, your personal time will no longer be restricted by force procedures. And I would like to assign everyone individual dorm rooms, but we simply don't have the space, so that sadly won't happen. GSH-18 subtly turns her head toward M-1895 beside her and mouths something silently. M-1895 shakes her head stiffly. Tokarev feels her neural cloud whirring as she attempts to decode the meaning behind the commander's seemingly casual words. I know it sounds sudden, maybe even unsettling, but this isn't a test. I simply don't believe your devices meant to be toggled between standby and active modes. Kalina nods enthusiastically, her smile brightening. She clearly knew the content of this speech beforehand. Secondly, after discussions with logistics, starting tomorrow noon, the cafeteria will be open to all base personnel, including dolls. Dolls with culinary experience are welcome to volunteer for work there. In fact, any facility at the base is open for you to try out if you have the skill, experience, or even just interest. If you don't yet have civilian-grade gastral or gustatory modules, send a request to Miss Kalina and she will arrange installations for you. Tokarev grows even more confused. She's not the only one. Others around her also look baffled. I know that most dolls or really all dolls don't rely on external food for energy. This isn't a requirement. But if you have the modules and feel curious, or if you simply want to experience something new, the cafeteria is always open. Participation is entirely voluntary. Kalina steps forward immediately, her voice bubbling with excitement. I've already talked to the chef. We'll prepare warm bread, cupcakes, and a full human stuffed meal, approved specially by the commander. The flavor is guaranteed authentic. Anyone with the gustatory module has got to try it. Besides Tokarev, FFFNC lowers her head and mutters to herself. The cafeteria, food, letting dolls eat? What's the purpose? Testing our obedience? Or some new psychological conditioning method? Across from them, Springfield smiles gently. She still hasn't upgraded here yet. She's on her segment 0 basically. I'm actually looking forward to it. And finally, the commander's tone grows more somber. I don't know how previous human commanders viewed or used you. But personally, I hope you can try, just try, not to think of yourselves only as serial numbers or weapons. Every one of your neural clouds is unique. Even 2 Tokarevs from different districts are distinct individuals. You are capable of independent thought. You can make judgments, so you should also have basic dignity. Tokarev's lips part slightly, a breath of startled laughter escaping her. To me, Area Section 9 isn't just a military outpost. I hope it can become, even temporarily, a place that's as safe as possible. A home. And in this home, every member, whether carbon-based or silicon-based, deserves respect. The hall is utterly silent. Some dolls tilt their heads, as if their neural cloud cannot keep up with the incoming data. Tokarev feels a wave of light dizziness. Her mind is reeling from these concepts that completely defy her understanding. That's all for now. There may be more adjustments later, and we'll talk again then. If you have any questions or suggestions, my office is always open, or you can speak with Miss Kalina first. Dismiss. The commander scratches their head, though they seem unsurprised by the doll's bewildered expressions. After stepping off the podium, instead of leaving immediately, they walk toward the front and start speaking quietly with Makarov and a few others. Kalina weaves through the forming groups, eagerly explaining details to the dolls crowding around her. Autonomous and voluntary rest? Experiencing the taste of food? What does any of that mean? Around her, dolls whisper to one another. The commander was serious? We can decide for ourselves when to go on standby? And we can choose to pick up side jobs? I've always wanted to try working in the infirmary. But what about energy consumption? Unnecessary activities increase drain. That's not cost efficient. Probably a strategy, or it could just be a flash in the pan kind of enthusiasm. People like this come along every now and then, but their fervor never lasts. Most humans don't understand how dolls work. We don't need these human-like things. But Miss Kalina looks really pleased. I think she and the commander really mean it. Tokarev fixes her gaze on the commander's back. She stands, not joining any group, and heads toward the hall exit. As she passes the spot where Makarov was standing earlier, she pauses in hesitation. Something feels off. Just as she's about to cross the threshold, Kalina calls out to her from behind. Tokarev, wait! Tokarev turns. Kalina jogs up to her, cheeks flushed, smile radiant. The commander told me you have already tried the cafeteria food before, right? Tomorrow at noon, the newly renovated cafeteria opens for a trial run. You have to come. I asked the kitchen to prepare special desserts for everyone. Come try them. My energy core is functioning normally. Output is stable. I do not require external food for supplementary energy. Kalina just chuckles and shakes her head lightly. Whether you need it or not is beside the point, Tokarev. You think the commander doesn't know dolls don't need food? It's not about necessity. It's about whether you want to. Aren't you even a little curious about what sweetness tastes like or how it feels to have warm soup sliding down your throat? The commander said these are important sensory inputs, parts of what makes something feel alive. A small joy for humans and dolls alike. Tokarev's electronic eyes blink rapidly as she processes these entirely new ideas. Seeing her confusion, Kalina's smile softens. It's okay. You don't have to decide now. The cafeteria will always be there. Whenever you change your mind, or even if you just want a place to sit, you can come. The commander wants everyone, every living being, to find something that makes them feel just a little better. She pats Tokarev on the shoulder lightly, gives her a little wave, then skips away with a cheery smile, disappearing around the corner. Tokarev stands rooted to the spot. She peers down at her hands, the synthetic skin long overdue for maintenance. A small joy? As the question spirals through her neural cloud. A burst of searing white light engulfs her vision. Harsh static drowns out all other noise. The assembly hall's bolted ceiling, Kalina's warm smile, the commander's calm gaze, that unnameable flutter in her core, all these fragments of memories twist, flicker, and bleach out under the violent interference. Darkness falls again, bottomless as an abyss. Okay. The Elmo! The Elmo, okay. Oh, look at that. Elmo in Girls Funny 1. Tokarev's visual module slowly reboots. The scattered blur of light gathering bit by bit into a clear image. She finds herself lying in the corner of the Elmo's ops room, a slightly worn blanket draped over her. Only the emergency lights are on inside the cabin, their dim amber glow making the whole space feel unusually quiet. Not far away, Kalina's silhouette sits before the main console. The monitors cast a ghostly blue light across her tired but focused face. Her fingers dance rapidly across the keyboard. She seems completely absorbed in whatever she's looking through. Tokarev tries to sit up. A faint mechanical scrape comes from her joints. Kalina instantly turns her head and, seeing Tokarev awake, drops everything she's doing and hurries over. You're awake. How do you feel? Is your system running normally? System is functioning normally. Just still a little sluggish. Tokarev straightens herself. Her fingers joints click softly as she flexes her arms, confirming all functions have returned. Kalina crouches beside her, worry and guilt written all over her face. Tokarev, I'm really sorry. I shouldn't have reactivated you so recklessly. The neural cloud malfunction struck again, didn't it? This is all my fault. Tokarev studies Kalina's exhausted expression and gently shakes her head. No, Miss Kalina, this isn't because of anything you did. A similar issue already occurred even before the commander's operation. Please don't blame yourself. I am fine. Kalina exhales in relief, though the worry in her eyes doesn't fully fade. She reaches out and brushes aside a few loose strands of hair from Tokarev's forehead, like tending to a sick child. If anything feels off again, you must tell me. We can go back to the city and have a professional technician look at you. Tokarev glances around the ops room, taking in the blinking indicators across the control panels and the active screens. This is a completely different sight from the Elmo's powered down state when they left it. I remember they cut the power to the Elmo. How did you restart the system? A hint of smug pride clips Kalina's expression. She seems to forget her fatigue for a moment. Ah well, even though the main power was cut remotely, I checked the main control system and found that the Elmo has an independent emergency backup. As long as you bypass the remote lockouts, you can bring the basic systems online again. She tilts her chin up proudly, eyes sparkling with mischief. Don't forget, I'm Griffin's logistic officer. I know these systems better than anyone. Tokarev nods, genuinely impressed. Even in a situation like this, Kalina never fails to demonstrate an astounding level of professional competence. Well, to be fair, she did plant a bomb in a submarine. That's how awesome Kalina is. You really do live up to your reputation, Miss Kalina. By the way, how long was I out? Kalina checks her watch. About 4 hours. When you suddenly collapsed, I was terrified. Luckily, the Elmo has simple dull diagnostic tools. Once I confirmed it was just temporary neural cloud overload, I let you slip it off. 4 hours. Then time is running short. We need to... Before she can finish, Kalina grabs Tokarev's hand with sudden excitement, cutting her off. Tokarev, I'm onto something. While you were resting, I reviewed the Elmo's internal system logs. She pulls Tokarev toward the main console, pointing at the stream of data flickering past the screens. Look, according to the logs, the Elmo system was activated before we arrived, and not just once. Oh? When? Kalina taps the keyboard, bringing up a more detailed report. The most recent activation was early yesterday morning, just a few hours after the explosion. Someone bypassed the main power cutoff, activated the backup system, and accessed the Elmo's main database. Can you determine who it was? Kalina shakes her head with a frown. The access logs were wiped, almost nothing remains. Whoever did it knows the Elmo's architecture extremely well. She opens another window showing a list of directories that were accessed. They did not delete or modify anything. They seem to be searching for something. Do you think this could be related to the commander's death? Kalina bites her lip while she mulls this over. I bet it is. This person was probably looking for the commander or checking to see whether the commander had left anything behind. But I cannot determine who they are or what their intentions were. All I know is they understand both the Elmo and the commander very well. It could be Persica. They could be from the military or someone inside IOP. Could even be someone from Griffin or... She pauses abruptly, eyes widening. Or it could be the commander themselves. Who knows? If the commander didn't actually die but managed to escape after the explosion and did not want to be found, the first thing they'd do is destroy or secure anything that could reveal their location. But if that's the case, why only erase the access logs? Why not delete the data? That wouldn't hide their trail at all. It would only expose the fact that the commander came back here. Kalina's excitement dims a little. You're right, I'm getting ahead of myself. They fall into a brief silence. Kalina is the first to break it. Regardless, we need to keep investigating. We're heading to the White Zone to examine the blast site. That's the real key to finding the commander. Yes, but the White Zone's security checks will be a problem. Then we'll just have to deal with it. Prep your weapon and ammunition. We're moving out. Okay. White Zone entrance. Kryuger. The entrance to the White Zone in Frankfurt is under heavy guard. Several security checkpoints line up in a row, with fully armed soldiers and autonomous security droids patrolling each channel. Ever since the commander forced their way through, the security level has clearly been raised. Tokarev and Kalina stand at the edge of the square beyond the checkpoint, quietly observing the fortified defenses. Tokarev wears a long coat that conceals most of her dull features, but hiding her identity completely is impossible. Kalina bites her lip and frowns deeply. This is worse than I expected. Those scanners are the newest dull identification models. The moment you get close, they'll flag you. Technically speaking, I currently qualify as an unauthorized dull if I am detected. Miss Kalina, I can hide somewhere nearby. You can enter alone. Kalina shakes her head firmly. No, I need you. and splitting up is too dangerous. She rummages in her pocket but finds nothing useful. In the end, she pulls out a green card. She gives a weak, bitter laugh. This is a gift from the boss, permanent residency for the green zone. It guarantees me a comfortable life there, but right now it's useless for getting into the white zone. How did you get in 2 days ago? 2 days ago, when the commander led us into the white zone, there were several dolls whom I didn't know personally, but they didn't seem to be strangers. Oh, the Stasi. They disrupted the security system using some kind of electronic warfare. A spark of understanding flashes through Kalina's eyes. Oh wait, electronic warfare. That's 4-4. Yep. It's Leva, Lena, and Kluke. 404. Of course, they would definitely assist the commander. You know them? Kalina nods, then sighs in frustration. I haven't seen any of them since I got here. Not just them. The AR team, the task force Defh, and other dolls who technically are not under IOP jurisdiction. I cannot find any of them. So, just to recap, we have seen at least one of the task force Defh. That is Alba. AR team, we have seen 2 of them. Leva and Robella. Sorry. Robella and Soppo. It's like they all just disappeared. Maybe they're also searching for the commander. Or maybe... She trails off, but Kalina understands the implication instantly. They might already be under government control. The thought drains even more color from her face. Either way, right now we are on our own. I may have to contact Mr. Kreuger again. Are you certain? Mr. Kreuger has already made it clear that he doesn't want you involved. He talks tough, but he's never refused one of my requests. Not to mention, he cares about the commander too. That is true. Kalina steps aside and activates her communicator. Tokarev stays alert nearby, but she remains within earshot. Clicked. Connection established. Look at that. Our boy, Daddy Kreuger. Goddamn. They need to show his face in Girls Funny too. Look at him. The big boss himself. Kalin? I told you to rest, didn't I? Mr. Kreuger, I need your help. If this is about the commander, I thought I made myself clear yesterday. All I need is a temporary white zone pass. Just this once. White zone? Where are you right now? You should be on a plane back to the Neo-Soviet Union, Kalin, not making trouble in Frankfurt. I'm not quitting the investigation, Mr. Kreuger. The commander isn't just my superior. The commander is dead, Kalin. Go home before you get yourself in trouble. The commander is not dead! If you won't help me, I'll find another way. Kalin, the commander wouldn't want you putting yourself at risk. Listen to me, just this once. Let it go. Go home. Thank you for taking care of me of all these years. But this time, I must stand by my own decision. If you insist, I will revoke your access permits. Not as a threat, just to keep you from walking into danger. I understand. Goodbye, Mr. Kreuger. Kalina ends the call, takes a long breath to steady herself, and returns to Tokarev. He won't help us. Mr. Kreuger might be right. The commander cared deeply about your safety. Kalina gives a strained, bittersweet smile. But I don't need protecting, Tokarev. What I need is the truth. I need to know what really happened to the commander. If the commander truly fell, I need to confirm it with my own eyes. And if the commander is alive, then I cannot stop searching. I'll stand by their side. See? Canon wife. This isn't an impulsive decision. I've thought this through. A black sedan glides toward them, interrupting her. It stops directly in front of them. The window rolls down, revealing a familiar face. Mother... No, actually, he's kind of a good guy, to be honest. He's just on the wrong side. That's the only problem. Miss Kalina, what a coincidence meeting you here. It seems you're having trouble entering the white zone. Javier's polite smile doesn't reach his deep, unfathomable eyes. God, this is one of my favorite soundtracks. I love that this was also played like once in Girls Falling 2. Kalina freezes for a moment, then instinctively steps forward to shield Tokarev behind her. But Javier's gaze has already slipped past her, settling in on Tokarev. And an IOP tactical doll who's supposed to be deactivated. Now that's an interesting combination. Tokarev tenses, ready for any sudden threat. Kalina swallows hard but keeps her back ramrod straight. Mr. Javier, I can explain. He raises a hand, cutting her off with a half smile. No need, Miss Kalina. I happen to be heading to the white zone for some official business. If you don't mind, perhaps I can offer you a ride. Huh? Kalina and Tokarev exchange a long look. Neither expected Javier to overlook Tokarev's presence so casually, let alone offer help. His intentions are unreadable. But this may be their only chance to enter the white zone. Don't worry, I won't hand you over to anyone. I'm merely offering assistance. But you don't have much time. Security will notice this little scene soon. Kalina takes a deep breath and comes to a decision. Thank you for your generosity, Mr. Javier. We'll accept your help. Javier nods as the car door unlocks. Then get in. Time is short, isn't it? Kalina and Tokarev approach the vehicle. Tokarev scans the interior for potential threats. Despite their unease, they have no choice but to board this car toward the white zone, toward the place that might hold the truth. The door closes and the black sedan drives smoothly toward the white zone checkpoint. White zone. As the black sedan passes through the checkpoint, Javier's driver merely presents an ID card, and the security personnel immediately snap to attention and salute, then let the vehicle through without even asking it to stop for a scan. Kalina sits rigidly upright in the backseat, tension etched into her posture. Tokarev is perched right beside her. The atmosphere inside the car is unnervingly quiet. Javier's gaze rests on Kalina, deliberately avoiding Tokarev's presence, as if the seat next to her is empty. Are you feeling better now, Miss Kalina? You still don't look fully recovered. Kalina pauses, clearly not expecting such a casual opening. Thank you for your concern. I'm doing much better. Javier nods as the car glides smoothly through several intersections. The scenery inside the white zone is completely different from the outside world. Wide, clean roads, uniform modern architecture, and the occasional autonomous patrol droids. Yet traces of war remain. Repaired bullet scars mark the walls of buildings, and some structures lie collapsed in ruins. I trust you have already seen Krieger. I haven't had the chance to visit him recently due to work. I hope he's still in good health. Kalina watches him carefully, trying to discern his intent. He's doing alright, still recovering, but nothing serious. Javier lets out a soft chuckle, fingers tapping lightly against his cane. He's a stubborn old man, just like most of us. But he's always taken good care of you. He treats you almost like a daughter. Kalina glances briefly at Tokarev, then looks back at Javier, her unease deepening. Mr. Javier, I appreciate your help, but why are you helping us? Javier meets her gaze, his expression calm yet unfathomable. I believe everyone has the right to seek the truth, Miss Kalina, especially when it concerns someone they care about. The sedan passes down a broad avenue and enters the central area of the white zone. The buildings here rise taller, and the military presence is far more visible. The streets are sparsely populated, stripped of their former bustle. Shops and restaurants stand shuttered, with only essential facilities still operating. The air itself feels tense. Then Javier speaks again, unhurried. I am truly sorry about the commander. Kalina's body stiffens instantly, her hands clenching into fists. The commander was an exceptional individual, a visionary. I regret that things came to this. The commander isn't dead, are they? You have imprisoned the commander, haven't you? Tokarev shifts instinctively at Kalina's blunt question. Unexpectedly, Javier shows no sign of anger. He simply shakes his head slowly, that inscrutable smile still in place. Miss Kalina, you know that there are questions I cannot and will not answer. But I can tell you this, I've always regarded myself as the commander's friend, and yours. Javier brings the car to a stop at the edge of a wide plaza. From here, a cordon-off area is visible in the distance, sealed behind layers of security tape, the apparent site of the explosion. I believe this is where you wish to go. Kalina looks at him in surprise. Mr. Javier, I suggest you don't stay too long. While I can get you through the checkpoints, lingering at the site will draw unwanted attention. I wish you good luck, Miss Kalina. Kalina hesitates, then nods and opens the door. Thank you, Mr. Javier. She and Tokarev step out of the car. The black sedan pulls away almost immediately, disappearing into the streets of the white zone. Tokarev remains beside Kalina, scanning the surroundings to make sure it is safe before finally speaking up. Mr. Javier is strange. He knows I was illegally reactivated, yet pretended not to notice and even help us. Must have already guessed what you're trying to do. Kalina looks in the direction in which the car has vanished with her brow furrowed. I don't know what he's after either. I have a feeling he's hinting at the fact that the commander... A sudden stab of pain cuts Tokarev off. Another fluctuation strikes her neural cloud once more, sending memory fragments scattering like snap beads before reassembling again. Tokarev, are you alright? I'm fine. Just a minor system fault. Tokarev shakes her head, forcing the pain back down. This isn't the time to worry about that. We should head to the explosion site and investigate while we still can. Kalina hesitates, but seeing the determination in Tokarev's eyes, she finally nods. You are right. We need to move. Let's get cracking before anyone notices us. Finding clues about the commander is the only thing that matters right now.